As the indefinite strike declared by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress TUC enters the second day, union officials in Kaduna, Rivers, Edo, Yobe and other states have picketed banks, courts and government offices. Unlike the first day of the strike, which recorded partial compliance, all the government offices, banks and other financial institutions were locked in Kaduna on Wednesday, the second day of the strike. The enforcement team led by the NLC chairman in Kaduna, Ayuba Suleiman, locked the gates of the Kaduna State Secretariat along the Independence Way, where most ministries are located to ensure total compliance. Also, all the banks along the Yakubu Gowon Way did not open for business, except for customers who want to use the automated teller machines, ATMs. The National Union of Electricity Employees also shut down operations at the Transmission Company of Nigeria power plant at Mando, while the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company is still under lock and key. Suleiman, who expressed satisfaction with the level of compliance with the strike, said that the two labor centers will not bow back until the government address all their demands. Bayero University, Kano, has announced the suspension of all ongoing first semester undergraduate examinations and other academic activities for the 2022-2023 academic session. The announcement was contained in a statement signed by the university's acting registrar, Amina Abdullahi Umar. Suspension, according to the statement, is due to the nationwide strike embarked upon by the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress. The university management has directed all students to remain calm and await further directives. The statement noted that the ongoing examinations are halfway through, and as soon as the strike is over, the examinations will continue. The Academic Staff Union of Universities had on Monday directed its members to join the nationwide strike. Meanwhile, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu on Wednesday apologized to the organized labor over attacks on the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, in Owerri, Imo State capital on November 1. Ribadu also urged the movement to rescind its decision on the current ongoing strike across the country, adding that attackers of Ajero have been arrested and investigations have commenced. The NSA's plea was contained in a statement signed by the head of strategic communications in the office of the National Security Advisor, Zakari Mijinyawa. Ribadu said that the federal government regrets the incident that happened in Imo and condemns it in its entirety, noting that it was against the rule of law and the principles of freedom of association and expression subscribed to by President Tinubu and his administration. Now, 4 persons have died with 8 others injured in an accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Wednesday. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, disclosed this in a statement, saying that passengers were confirmed dead around the car park C turning area on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. According to the Ogun State Sector Command of the FRSC, the accident involved 2 vehicles, a Hovo truck and a Max bus with the registration number Ekpe 440YG. She said that the injured victims had been taken to 2 different hospitals for medical attention, while the corpses of the deceased were deposited at the Idira morgue in the Shagamu area of Ogun State. Also, the FRSC Ogun Sector Commander Anthony Uga warned that speed kills, urging motorists to drive responsibly and observe all road signs. He also sympathized with the family of the victims, praying to God to strengthen them. National Assembly complex in Abuja has been finally shut down by organized labor groups in protest of the manhandling of the national president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajero. However, the presidential Villa Gate, which connects the National Assembly complex, remained open for security personnel and other essential workers. The management of the National Assembly has not commented on the matter. Among those barred from gaining entry into the legislative complex were journalists, legislative aides, and several members of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, who are affiliates of organized labor. Now, the proposed arraignment of the former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele has been stalled at the Federal Capital Territory High Court following the industrial strike embarked upon by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria at the Federal Capital Territory High Court branch. JUSUN had directed its members to join the industrial action by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress over an assault on NLC President Joe Ajaero in Imo State on November 1, 2023. A visit to the court on Wednesday showed a locked gate and no sign of lawyers trooping in and out of the court premises. Justice Olukoyede Adeniyi had last week granted Emefiele bail. He ordered that he should be released immediately to his lawyers, who are charged with the responsibility of producing him in court for his arraignment on Wednesday. In a similar vein, the bail previously granted to Geoffrey Akindele, one of the defendants in the trial involving former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, has been revoked. Akindele is being tried alongside the ex-AGF for fraudulent diversion of public funds amounting to 109.5 million naira. Other defendants are Idris Mohammed, Udu Usman, and Gezawa Commodity Market and Exchange Limited, when the case was called on Tuesday. Justice Yusuf Halilu of the Federal High Court observed that only Idris and Usman were in court, prompting him to ask the counsel for the defendants, S.E. Adino, about Akindele's whereabouts. Akindele's counsel, Adino, told the court that his client was en route to court and had consistently attended previous hearings. The judge said that it was incumbent on a defendant on bail to reciprocate the gesture by always attending court. He, however, revoked his bail and ordered the Commissioner of Police in the FCT and the prosecuting agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, to arrest Akindele and produce him in court on the next adjourned date. Hadilu adjourned the matter till February 1, 2024 for a hearing. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar believes that the merger of Nigeria's opposition parties will help in forming a stronger front against the ruling All Progressives Congress. Atiku, who was the People's Democratic Party candidate in the 2023 presidential election, said this in Abuja on Tuesday when he hosted the National Executive Committee of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. Atiku emphasized the importance of protecting Nigeria's democracy while expressing concern over falling into a one-party system. The PDP presidential candidate in the 2023 elections thereafter urged members of IPAC to rally opposition parties to form a stronger front against the threat. Now, the IPAC team was led to the visit by its national president, Yabagi Sani. Former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Muhammad Sanusi II, has said that the Apex banks lending to the federal government under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari through Ways and Means triggered inflationary pressure in Nigeria and weakened the value of the naira. The CBN's loan to the federal government hit 22.7 trillion naira, an amount the CBN said had been scrutinized not to dampen its balance sheet. Ways and Means is a way in which the federal government raises funds by borrowing from the CBN. The 14th Emir of Kano also said that the central bank had embarked on aggressive monetary tightening through various liquidity control instruments, including open market operations, open buyback and high treasury bills rates, an indication that the bank was sticking to its core mandate of financial systems stability and inflation control. Current governor of the CBN, Oluyemi Cardoso, had said that the bank will return to its primary role of price stability. Nigeria's inflation rate jumped to 27.33% in October 2023 as prices of foodstuffs continue to increase in the aftermath of the removal of the fuel subsidy by the President Bola Tinubu administration. This was according to the October 2023 Consumer Price Index, an inflation report released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Wednesday. The CPI, which measures the changes in the prices of goods and services, rose from 26.72% to 27.33%, showing an increase of 0.61% points. In October 2023, the headline inflation rate increased to 27.33% relative to the September 2023 headline inflation rate, which was 26.72%, the report partly read. Now, looking at the movement, the October 2023 headline inflation rate showed an increase of 0.61% points when compared to the September 2023 headline inflation rate. Furthermore, on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 6.24% points higher compared to the rate recorded in October 2022, which was 21.09%. This shows that headline inflation rate year-on-year basis increased in October 2023 when compared to the same month in the preceding year. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Bride sets house ablaze over divorce saga. Details and more after the break.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance, and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira X rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than the exchange rate. So you want to
This central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast.
Number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation, and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
What NAFDAC is doing is making sure we are safeguarding the health of the nation.
80 million people have been accounted for that have glaucoma worldwide.
The Nutrition Society of Nigeria is laying emphasis on exclusive breastfeeding of our babies.
Incidence of kidney disease in children has also been rising, with an estimated 1 in 10 Nigerian children affected.
And that sometimes those products contain things that could harm you more than you would expect. So you would have long-term damage which could affect your health over time.
Intermittent fasting indeed is beneficial.
Human beings know what is right.
If they don't want to do what is right, they will give you 1,001 reasons why they are doing the wrong things.
They see themselves as conquerors, and other people have been conquered.
When the opposition and the press keep parroting that phrase, government has failed, but we will not be here, hold on, we will not be here, sitting down here, if government has failed.
There has been almost total collapse of the security outfit, and the terrorists are taking advantage of this.
On that, a country that has about 923 square kilometers of arable land, not more than 2.5% has been cultivated.
Of course, you, the Nigerian citizen, will also have your say via our phone-in numbers on your screen.
The issue of appointment in Nigeria has become more political than doing the right thing for the country.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories. NLC pickets banks, courts, government offices as strike enters day 2. 4 dead, 8 injured in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway accident. In other news, at least 62 passengers escaped death on Tuesday as an aircraft belonging to Nigerian airline Value Jet skidded off the runway at the Port Harcourt International Airport in Rivers State. The incident caused panic among the passengers in the oil-rich state after the jet reportedly landed at 3:30 p.m. The passengers and 5 flight crew members were on board. The Port Harcourt International Airport is situated in Omagwa, Ikwere local government area of Rivers State. Tuesday's incident is the latest in air accidents in the past months in Nigeria. On Sunday, an incident involving a Boeing 737 jet with registration number 5NBYQ owned by Aero Contractors Airlines crash-landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, the nation's capital. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau stated that the incident was classified as a serious accident. A 20-year-old bride in Mubi North, Adamawa State has confessed to arson after setting ablaze her husband's house over his refusal to divorce her. The Adamawa State Police Command has apprehended the accused in connection to the crime, with investigation already underway. Amina Hassan of Shuari in Mubi North local government area got married to her husband, Muhammad Awal, just 5 weeks ago. Now, President Bola Tinubu is set to join other heads of state and government in Guinea-Bissau on Thursday to commemorate the country's 50th independence anniversary and Armed Forces Day. This was disclosed in a statement signed on Wednesday by the president's spokesman, Ajuri Ngilale. This celebration, which originally marked Guinea-Bissau's 50th anniversary on September 24, 2023, was scheduled to hold on November 16, 2023. The president is expected to return to Nigeria on Thursday, Ngilale noted. And the proposed engagement followed Tinubu's participation in the Saudi Africa Summit held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And now on the foreign scene, the president of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, has arrived at San Francisco to attend a summit with President Joe Biden. The summit is also the third Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic Leaders Meeting that started on November 14 and will end on November 17. In a statement on Wednesday, Chinese ambassador to the U.S., Xi Feng, said that Xi arrived on Tuesday afternoon local time. The statement said that Xi Jinping was warmly greeted by many overseas Chinese, including Chinese students studying abroad, who waved both Chinese and American flags along routes from the airport to welcome the Chinese president. Still on the foreign scene, Israeli forces have raided Al-Shifa hospital, where thousands of Palestinians are sheltering following days of heavy attacks in the area surrounding the complex in Gaza City. Israel's military said that early on Wednesday morning that it was carrying out an operation against Hamas in a specified area at Al-Shifa, calling the assault a targeted operation on Gaza's largest medical facility. It said the raid was based on Israeli and United States intelligence. Israel accuses Hamas, the group that governs Gaza, of using the hospital as a base. Now, Hamas rejects the claim, and Israel has not produced evidence to back up its assertion. Dozens of Israeli soldiers entered the facility while tanks were stationed in the yard of the medical complex. The raid is considered to be very risky and dangerous, as inside the hospital there are around 7,500 Palestinians, including patients, doctors, and displaced people. On sports news, 7 Super Falcons players, including goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, were listed for the 2023 Women's Player of the Year awards by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. Nadozie, who plays for Paris FC, and the thrilled football fans globally with her performance at the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, who was nominated in both the Player of the Year award and Goalkeeper of the Year award categories. Also listed for the Player of the Year award are Super Falcons and Barcelona feminine striker Azizat Oshola, Christy Uchebe, and Osinachi Ohale. Now, Rashidat Ajibade and also Tony Payne and Uchenna Kanu, CAF stated that a distinguished panel made up of its technical experts, legends, and selected media representatives decided on the nominees, taking into consideration their performances at all levels from December 2022 to November 2023. Still in sports news, Liverpool striker Luis Diaz had a tearful reunion with his father, freed last week after a 12-day kidnapping ordeal at the hands of Colombia's El Nin guerrilla group. Now, Diaz was back home in Colombia to join the national team ahead of World Cup qualifying match against Brazil on Thursday in the seaport city of Barranquilla, where the meeting with his dad, Luis Manuel Diaz, was arranged. The pair embraced in tears, according to images distributed by the Colombian Football Federation. Luis Manuel Diaz and his wife, Silenise Marolanda, were abducted by armed men on motorcycles at a gas station in their hometown of Barrancas, near the Venezuelan border, on October 28. Now, Marulanda was rescued hours later, and a massive search operation by ground and air was launched for her husband. And last Thursday, after days of intense negotiations, the rebels handed theirs over to humanitarian workers in a mountainous border area. And that's it for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.